Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. Happy Monday! Yay! Hello, Lisa! So good to have you here. And welcome everyone who hasn't chimed in yet. I know you're there. Happy Motivational Monday. We've got some really good stuff to talk about today. And I hope you're taking notes because I want you to remember all of this, right? And this is really important to remember. And our quote of the week is not just a quote, but it's good advice. And you know what that is? It's to go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. You love that? Go where you're celebrated and not tolerated. That is just a beautiful quote, and it's something that I think we all need to take to heart. If somebody's trying to tap you down or tell you to be quiet or they think you're too much, they're not your people. You're my people, by the way, and I'm happy that you're here. Doris, good to have you here this afternoon. Tanya, love having you here live. Anyway, so we're a couple of weeks, shall we say, postpartum from full bloom. The glow is still there, though. The glow is still glowing. What can I tell you? So I'm really delighted. Jenny is on the road right now. Amber is here. Of course, she's running the dashboard, whatever that is. And I know Lindsay's somewhere around here. I think she's in the background saying hello. I'd like to welcome everybody, of course, to the Daily Dish Show. This is where we get in synergistic alignment with our heart, mind, body, and soul. What I've learned, and I hope a lot of you have learned too, hello, Lynn, is that when you try to divorce yourself from your entire life and just go after one thing, it doesn't work out real well. But when we look at ourselves in our entirety and recognize that everything's connected, then we start to feel like the women we're supposed to be. And we start to align with everything. We don't just let all of it go and just concentrate on one thing. We get off the carousel of crazy, which is the diet culture. And instead, we become all about who we are and the vibrant life we want to live. Amen to that? I hope so. Let's see. We don't have anything coming up this week. Can you believe that? But do watch your email boxes. We have all kinds of stuff coming on, including in September, when we start getting back into the swing of things again, we are going to have a workshop on the Take Back Your Life journal, which is a journey, by the way. And I have my own methodology for this, and it totally works. We've got a lot of people who have just really loved on this journal. It's all new, though. We have a brand new version of it. It's double the size. We took every single piece of advice that you gave us on how to make it better, and we used it because it was that good. So, hi, Sue. I'm glad you're here. Patsy's in the house as well. Hi. I saw my Lynn already. Jane is here too. Yay. So good. But this is the whole thing. If you want to have the life that leads you to the place of vibrancy, then you have got to start thinking about goals in a way that's manageable and doable. And that's this whole methodology. savingdinner.com/journal. Get that, because you will then be invited to our webinar. And the webinar is really a class on how to use the journal, all the way, deep dive into the whole journal. And I'm going to show you based on my entries in this journal so that you can, I'm opening my kimono, girlfriends. So I'm all about that. And I'm telling you now, dates are coming, get your journal now. And this is game on. Who's ready for this? savingdinner.com/journal. All right, I'm going to bring TikTok on board because TikTok and welcome to TikTok and welcome to YouTube and to Facebook. We do all three of them live all at the same time. And that's so much fun. Anyway, hi, Kathy in the house. Nice to have you here. And I'm glad everybody is here. Today's show is something that you can bank. Okay. This is something that you can bank. And you know why I say this? Because sometimes we have to go grab a deposit, don't we? Sometimes we have to go get something and fill us and fill up our hearts. Hey, Ann, Julie, good to have you here. This is an important part of what I want to talk to you about today, because this is stuff that took me forever, ever to learn. This is something that took me forever to finally get over the hump of how awful and how horrible and how detached everything was in my life. But I'm here to tell you that this is the show that I hope is going to shake things up just a little bit and make you think. When I say you take it to the bank, that means it's a holding place. You can go back and over again and do it. And by the way, our show notes are available at savingdinner.com. And today's show notes are going to be in tomorrow's newsletter. Okay. Just go to savingdinner.com and you'll get that going on. Promise. Vanessa, Diane, good to have you here. Ellen, oh goodness, good to have you here too. Anyway, let's get busy because this stuff is important. And by the way, if you missed any of the announcements, savingdinner.com/announcements. That's where we hide them all. And that's where you're going to find all the stuff. Okay. All right. So today we're going to be talking about automating our body confidence, because I'm going to tell you right now, hear me. Body confidence is something that doesn't just happen. It is something we learn, and it is a skill to be applied. And the reason that we want this skill applied in our lives is because otherwise we are constantly shaming ourselves. Has anybody ever had a moment in a dressing room where you just had a meltdown? Come on. Pinkies up if that's been you. That was me all the way. Can I tell you? Bathing suits, shorts, just everything. Or taking a bunch of clothes into the dressing room and then finding out, oh my gosh, this is the wrong size. I need to go up, you know? It makes you feel like, oh my gosh, what happened here? But this is where we really start to think, we really start to tap down on the confidence that we have in our own skin. Because this is the vehicle. This little thing that I'm sitting on right now is my vehicle for this one life that I've been given. And what you're sitting on right now is your one vehicle for your life. And that's it. You don't get another one. You don't get to trade it in like a car, you know? All of this is wisdom that you need to take and, again, bank it. Go back to it again and again, because having confidence in your body isn't about being a certain size or looking a certain way. None of it. None of it. It's about applying the skill of loving yourself where you are right now, today. That's it. That is fully it. When we don't feel good in our own skin, guess what, though, what we end up doing? This is true. We end up putting ourselves in a place of unconscious sabotage continually. We do not live a vibrant life at all when we are sabotaging ourselves, because it's a constant shame. It's a shame spread, you know, shaming ourselves for this, shaming ourselves for that. Instead of accepting and loving, it's constant. And my point is that body confidence is a decision. Always a decision. I love it. Here's the deal. We don't show up for our lives when we don't have body confidence. You know what we do? We hide and we stay away and we don't look at it. We avoid pictures. We avoid being in pictures, right? Has anybody done that before? Or you hide behind somebody? You know, you don't show up fully into pictures. We avoid clothes shopping, going places, doing things like swimming, for example, you know? a lot of things are off the table because we don't own that body confidence. So here's something that's really interesting. Listen to this. And listen, mamas, grandmas, everybody out there, remember your example is something that your daughters are picking up. So if you drag your little girls into a dressing room and say, Mama's got to get a bathing suit, and then you start screaming at yourself, oh my gosh, look at your thighs, look at this, look at that. You don't think those little girls are picking all of that up? We can't do that to ourselves. If we're going to teach body confidence, we need to own body confidence. Right on, Sarah. Hi, Sarah, by the way. Joanne, so good to have you here. Jane is in the house. This is what Women's Health has to say. 87% of girls growing up think the world is judging them on their looks. On their looks. Right on. God did create in his own image. You know, you're beautiful just the way you are. And we can talk about things that maybe you want to change, but you have to possess and own body confidence first and foremost. Because again, this is your vehicle. This is the car you're going to be driving for the rest of your life through this life, right? 4% of women surveyed in the UK felt beautiful. 4%. 4% only. The other 96%, how did they feel? Well, they didn't give the breakdown on that. But I don't know about you, but I think that's so sad. And this is where we are, though. These sad statistics of women not owning themselves, of women not having possession of their bodies. So the thing is we don't feel we should have body confidence until we reach a certain size. Is that garbage or what? Of course it is. Complete garbage. I've told you the nursing bra story ad nauseum. Just scary. But for those of you on TikTok who've never heard it, I was 240 pounds and didn't want to face my weight. And when I went in to get clothes at a plus size women's store, the sales lady took a look at me sitting there in my nursing bra. My kids were in their early teens. I didn't feel I was worthy of a good bra until I lost the weight. This is part of the whole diet culture problem, by the way, that we have this worth stuff all attached to what size is on our jeans. Isn't that sad? It's just really sad. So to have body confidence is a decision. It's to decide I'm going to have body confidence. I just am. I'm going to own the body I am in. I'm going to dress it. I'm going to love it. I'm going to do the very best that I can. But you know what? While we're doing this, wise women really latch onto this and get it, right? But as we're doing this, there's things that we can do to help along with the decision. Because remember, decisions always are looking for evidence to support them. That's how it works. We are looking for evidence to support it. So let's talk about how do we then bring in the body confidence after we've made the decision that this is what we want, and then cultivate it. This is where it gets good. Number one is we have to move it. I don't care what size you are. If you're not moving it, you're losing it. That's the truth. It's not just your muscle mass. It's not just your bones. It's all this thing. My whole thing is just saving every woman on this planet from losing their bone health and losing their strength. I heard a very scary statistic on TikTok by Gabrielle Lyon, Dr. Gabrielle Lyon. If you don't know who she is, you should follow her because she has the most to say about skeletal muscle. And this is important because skeletal muscle is the protector of your bone. And this is the stat. Buckle your seatbelts. Women 65 plus who have osteoporosis and fall, 50% of them will never walk again. Now let that sit for a minute. I don't know about you, but that's scary. I'm not 65 yet, but definitely on my way. And I don't know about you, but I want to be walking. Vibrancy in my life is all about keeping that skeletal muscle. You keep the skeletal muscle, you can keep the skeleton, right? Those bones are precious, ladies. Let's protect them with everything we've got. Doesn't that blow you away? Sarah's head's going, that's what happened to me yesterday when I saw this too. I was all about it. Get out there and start doing resistant exercise. Your life truly depends on it, okay? Number 2 is eat to feed and nourish yourself. Here's the thing. When we think we're having a treat that just turns out to just light a fire and add inflammation to our bodies, you know what happens to us? It makes us feel down on ourselves. I shouldn't have eaten that. And then we have this entire conversation. Anybody know about the conversation in your head between your ears that make you crazy? Well, this is no good. We need to start looking at, how do I eat in order to support this decision to be body confident? You know, we have body confidence when we're eating good stuff. We do have body confidence because we know that we are actually feeding our body and our brain at the same time, by the way. Because our brains and our microbiome, everything knows what's up. Tracy, I know you know this. She's got her hand in the air. I know you know this. You've had quite the transformation. And we can all have quite the transformation when we understand and connect the dots. The treats aren't treats. All they are is just one more inflammatory bomb going off in your body. That doesn't create body confidence, it destroys it. Number 3 is mindfulness. You know, we can cultivate mindfulness. You know, of course, we think about our thinking, we think about our thoughts, but we also have to have a supportive, positive environment. I really invite you to start looking for a positive, supportive environment. Now, on Facebook, we have the Hot Melt Sprint group. Anybody can join, as long as you're female, of course. And it's a free program, the whole bit. And supportive women, amazing women, of course. And it's really cool to be in a group of women who are all doing the same thing, all after the same goal, all helping each other and supporting each other and encouraging one another. I don't know about you, but I could do with more encouragement, you know, and less do whatever Mr. Doodle Day over here was calling me a wacko. I could do with less of that. I could do with more encouragement. What about you? Right? That's why this supportive environment is so great. Now, on your own, meditation is something that is free. You can pull that out of your hat and start your day feeling centered. You can journal, get a $1 notebook, you go to the Dollar Tree and get a $1 notebook, start journaling, writing down some thoughts, getting rid of some garbage that maybe you've been carrying around in your head for years and years. But when we start to do these different kinds of things, we're telling our brain it's time to do something different. When we do something different, we get different results. Have you noticed that? This is how this whole thing works. So meditation, journaling, and a positive, supportive environment, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Number 4 is learn to accept compliments. Boy, did we talk about this a lot when we had Full Bloom. Compliments, when people compliment you, they're not just willy-nilly complimenting you. They're letting you know that you've made an impression on them. They went out of their way to take that thought and to verbalize it to you. Now, we want to also watch the way we're complimenting people. You know how we want to compliment people? We want to compliment people in a way that points to their character, not the way they look, especially if we've got little girls listening. We're talking, my Sherry right here, we are talking about body confidence and some different things that we can do. Mindfulness is really huge though, and anybody can switch it on and it's free, okay? Mindfulness. Number 4, compliments. Say thank you and believe it. And I accept it. I shared with everybody that when I get a compliment, somebody gives me a compliment, I always say thank you. And I accept that because it goes right to the heart, doesn't it? And it pumps you up and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel seen. When we do this to one another, it's going to come back, you know? The beautiful thing about being in supportive friendships and relationships is that this is needle moving because it changes our mind, it changes our perspective, it makes us feel a part of. And I don't know about you, but I've had enough isolation, I've had enough feeling alone. I want to feel connected. That's what this all does. Number 5 is love yourself, for heaven's sakes. Who made you? Who made you? You're here on purpose and for purpose, fearfully and wonderfully made. Not at any other time except right now, today. Meditate on that. If you have nothing to meditate, meditate on that. I double dog dare you. Because when you meditate on that, you're going to start seeing the preciousness of who you are. You can't help it. Otherwise, you're not just a biological accident, right? You're here on purpose. What if we started really, really embracing that truth and believed it? How do you think we're going to show up in the world? How do you think we're going to show up in the world and in our communities, in our families, in our friendships? It's all going to shift because we're going to understand the preciousness of who we are. That's how you love yourself, by the way. Body confidence can be created and you can automate it by doing these 5 steps. Moving your body, eating to feed it well, being mindful, using meditation practices, using journaling, and having a positive supportive group. You can start accepting compliments and allow it to land. Allow it to go right to your heart, right? You can love yourself. And for heaven's sakes, it's time to start loving yourself because who you are is not an accident. Being here on purpose and you being here right now is the truth. It can be automated. That's the good news. Because once you start to do this and once you start to feel good in your own skin, boy, is that going to change your outlook. It's going to change your perspective. It's going to change the way that you look at the world. And you know what else it's going to do? It's going to light everyone up around you. And the absolute beautiful example that you show those little kids that you're raising right now, those grandchildren, and all the people around you is just going to be absolutely outstanding and shining. That's what we're called to do. That is our purpose, for purpose. Amen? Well, that's all I have for you today. All right. And last thing I'm going to say to you. One thing, can I ask you to do this? Stop comparing yourself to anybody else or any other person's results or whatever it is. Stop it. When we compare ourselves, we remove joy from the equation. When we do that, we undo all of this. And it just absolutely robs us from any joy that we might have been enjoying otherwise. So I appreciate you. Oh, thank you so much for this. Much love to you. Thank you, Mo Cherie, for joining me today. Hi, Leanne over there. Nice to have you here. Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate you all. And Autumn, it's so good to see you. You can join me again tomorrow. Tomorrow's Transformational Tip Tuesday. I will be here at 1 p.m. Eastern on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook. And if you feel like this is a show that maybe somebody needs to hear, pass it on. You know, it's important that we understand the link between body confidence, loving yourself, and knowing whose you are. That's how we start to rise to the occasion and also rise in our vibrancy. Amen? Right on. Peace be with you, TikTok. I appreciate you. You too, YouTube, Facebook. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.